Good evening, everyone, and thank you for once again joining us for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharma talk here at the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center here in Brainerd, Minnesota. Today is July 11th. It's about 6 p.m. where I am, and maybe slightly different where you are in your time zone, or perhaps you're watching this on the replay. Either way, I am grateful for your participation and just sitting with me this wonderful evening. So tonight's topic is developing a calm lake mindset. Very often we find our mind agitated by many different activities or perturbations that arise throughout just throughout the day, let alone our daily lives. And so what I'd like to do is just start off with our wonderful guided meditation, right? And it's called developing a clear brook mindset or meditation, right? Calming our minds. And so you're free to relax and get into any comfortable position that you feel is best for your body. So we'll take a moment to just settle our bodies into those comfortable positions. You may close your eyes, or perhaps you choose to keep them slightly open with a soft focus, just looking downward a few feet in front of you. Go ahead and breathe in and pause, and then slowly exhale. And while you sit there, you are certainly invited to allow that wonderful half smile to just rest on your face. This is a pleasant experience. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. Softening your belly as you begin to settle in. Breathe in. And pause. And slowly exhale, either through your nose or out your mouth. It's up to you. Tonight, let's meditate on clearing our mind like that peaceful forest brook. And imagine yourself walking in this peaceful forest of your imagination. The trees are all tall and lush with beautiful vegetation, full branches of just bright green leaves. Birds are singing, and the little woodland creatures that we might expect to find are just scurrying about, collecting nuts or leaves or nesting material, whatever they do. The air is clean, refreshing, and nurturing. The sky is a calming, crisp shade of blue. Maybe there's an occasional cloud that goes by, but one of those wonderful puffy clouds that we see. As you walk along a nice, even, gentle trail, you can hear in the distance this soft babbling of a brook or stream. You know that with each step you take, you're getting closer to this brook. So there is no need to rush this journey. And just look around and observe the nature that you see and wonderful mindful moments just passing with each step. And you finally arrive at the bank of this beautiful brook. To the right, you see an inviting spot to sit under this nice, inviting shade tree. You sit and begin to notice how clear the water is in this peaceful forest feature. The water is so clear and pure looking. You can see small fish swimming, multicolored gravel at the bottom. And even an occasional leaf or twig gently float by. Breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. In the distance to your right and upstream, there's a cracking sound of a tree branch, followed by the sound of the splashing of that tree branch into the brook. You invite curiosity and wonder what could have caused this branch to break. Perhaps it was already dead and it just finally gave way to gravity As you sit and examine with curiosity a possible reason for that fall, you notice the water becoming cloudy and less clear with each moment. Moments pass until the water is so murky and cloudy that you can no longer see the bottom clearly. You continue to watch the flow of this water with patience and calmness. As the moments continue to pass, the water becomes clearer. And enough time passes that the water is as clear as it was when you first sat down. Our mind is like the clarity of this water. When you experience some outside perturbation, your mind may become cloudy and murky too. And this experience may be something that's either too joyful or too discomforting. Whatever the experience is, it makes it hard to see with clarity. To return to clarity, we only need to have patience with ourselves. The perturbation will pass. We don't need to do anything. Clarity of mind and thought will return. Go ahead and begin to open your eyes and to slowly reorientate yourselves to your surroundings before you move about. And I wish you peace and ease. There's a story of the Buddha when he was traveling from one village to another that really ties into this, to that guided meditation where he was walking from that one village to another. And, it was a hot day out, and he sat down and he wanted a drink and asked one of his attendants, one of his disciples, to, go get him some water, some cool, fresh water to drink. And as the attendant approached, this nearby stream, it was all cloudy. It was all muddy. Several ox carts drove by and muddied up the water. And the attendant did not want to bring dirty water back to the Buddha. So he went back to the Buddha and told him, hey, the water's muddy. It's, not fit to drink. at this time. And so the Buddha said, okay, we'll go back, in a little while and go see how that stream looks. So he waited a little bit and began going back towards the stream. And when he arrived that second time, it was clear. It was crystal clear to drink. So he filled up the water vessel and brought it back to the Buddha to drink. And the Buddha told the attendant, his disciple, that the mind is very much like that stream. When it is cloudy and disturbed and muddy, it is so hard to see. And what that means, it's very hard to make mindful decisions or caring decisions when we are in a state of agitation. And so when our mind is agitated, all types of emotions can be stirring about from all different types of causes or sources. I mean, we could be angry at someone for something that happened at work earlier. We may end up saying something we don't mean to that coworker. Maybe somebody's special holiday is coming up and you bake a cake and it didn't turn out quite as you expected. Maybe it was still doughy in the middle, or maybe it was overcooked. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a loved one was diagnosed with a terminal illness. The emotions we experience don't always have to be what we may consider negative. They could be very joyous emotions too that cloud our emotions. For example, you meet the person of your dreams and all of your thoughts just dwell upon them, until your next meeting, until you see them again. Perhaps you're so excited to go see them. What could be bad about that, right? What could be bad about having that type of joy and excitement? Well, maybe you're a little too excited and you blow a red light, go through it, cause an accident or a stop sign. Maybe even you just get a ticket. It's certainly something negative that was not a clear thought because of our excitement. Or maybe you got a new job. It has a nice pay increase as well. So again, our emotions that we experience don't have to be negative for what we to consider to result in a negative experience or an encounter. And again, consider, if you will, the job with the better pay, for example. Sometimes we think to ourselves, hey, now I am making more money. I have more money than before. It's a nice pay bump, nice pay increase. As a result, what do we tend to do when we get a little excited? We don't think too straight, right? Our judgment gets cloudy, and then as a result, we spend a little too frivolously. And therefore we become, maybe in greater debt. Maybe we had sincere intentions to use that extra pay raise to pay down your debt. But you think, I'm making some extra money. Go ahead and do that. So that was a joyous occasion, right? Nice little pay raise, a new job, promotion, whatever it is. And that can cloud our judgment as well. And so remembering that unbalanced emotions lead to suffering. Remembering that the Buddha taught, how do we end suffering? Right? That eightfold path, that middle way. Not too much, not too little. So, how do we develop or foster that calm lake mind? And I use a lake as a reference because they're very broad. Right? We can certainly have a stream that's very clear in water, right? Very inviting and nurturing to perhaps grab a drink from along a journey or camping or something along those lines. But I use a lake as a reference, as a perspective, because a lake is broad, right? Big, broad, calm water that we always find very picturesque. So how do we come and develop that lake mindset and to help avoid or maybe to minimize our suffering? No? Compassion is always the first step, I would think. I would start there with compassion and compassion with ourselves. So if we're angry, which it will happen from time to time, just recognize it as such. I am angry. I'm not in the best of moods. And knowing that it is okay to feel that way. But also in that recognition, knowing that we don't make decisions when we are angry. So understanding, having that compassion for ourselves. I am angry. It's okay to be angry, not to make decisions during that heightened state of emotional existence. It also goes to the other spectrum. If we are overjoyed, right? Enjoy that feeling for that time, but again, don't live there. This is a joyful feeling. I've accomplished something that perhaps I've worked hard for. Again, maybe you did get that dream job or that occupation that you've been wanting for and it's perfectly fine to celebrate, but then return to balance. So have that compassion. Say, hey, I'm allowed to feel these feelings, but now it's time to return to center because I love myself. I have compassion for myself. And with that compassion, I don't want to perhaps make an unwise decision. Secondly is patience. So when we are experiencing those strong emotions, whether positive or negative, again, don't rush an outcome. Right? We don't want to rush an outcome. Suppose we have experienced, some unsettling news. Right? Maybe there's a bad breakup with a significant other. Or maybe it was, the passing of a loved one. Trying to rush away those feelings of hurt or taking away from the moment that we are in. Rushing away the very precious moment that we are in for a future where we are expecting perhaps a better state of emotional being. Instead of truly understanding where we are at that present moment. So patience to where we are at that particular time. And it's important because, that particular moment we are in, that is where life is. Life isn't in the past and it's not in the future. So it doesn't live any place else, past or the future. Life only lives in the present moment. So non-doing would be another step towards developing that calm lake mindset. Let life unfold as it will and appreciate the beauty in each moment. Very often when we try to do something, to fix something, it doesn't necessarily make it worse or better, but it certainly takes away from that moment. Life has a way of unfolding naturally without our meddling or trying to guide to a particular outcome. Let the outcome come to you. It's like flowing with that brook, right? That brook isn't trying to go to any particular destination. It's just flowing downhill towards that big, calm lake mindset. Right? So non-doing. Just let life unfold. And to envelop all of these non-doings and the patience and the compassion, we can nurture those qualities by just meditation. Meditation allows us to sit with ourselves, to explore our feelings for what they are and not how we are perceiving them. Our perceptions, right? Just like looking through that muddy stream, that muddy brook, we can't see the bottom clearly. So our perceptions, when they are during that heightened state of emotional being, they are cloudy. Meditation will help you bring back that clarity of thought, of decision making. And that brings us to wisdom. Following just even a few of those steps will bring us up to wisdom. So following these, these 4 steps, wisdom will prevail. We don't make those rash decisions or unwise decisions. We learn to recognize when our mind is not lake calm. And then gently begin these steps just to kind of ease in and to get there. And then doing so will ease our suffering into that present moment. And to some degree in our near future as well, we'll be back to balance, back to calmness. So that small little brook that had those perturbations in them, giving us cloudy water, just sitting there waiting, patiently, mindfully, existing in that present moment, eventually clears. And with that clarity, we develop wisdom. So I thank you for joining us once again for our bi-weekly live stream. We will be back in 2 weeks, and so that puts us at July 25th, same time, Monday, 6 p.m. to roughly 6:30 or so. Our next upcoming live event at our center will be the Silent Retreat on July 31st from 7:30 to 4:30. All of our events are free. Everything. Silent retreats are free. Personal time with me is free. Just schedule to what suits your availability and what's opened on the calendar. It's all free. Everything is supported by kind and generous donations from from viewers like you, from Sangha members like you, our wonderful practitioners. We also have weekly Sanghas for healing. Right? Those are for trauma survivors, someone who has experienced any form of trauma. And what you consider trauma is completely up to you. Veterans, we have a veteran Sangha. You're more than welcome to sit with us, our wonderful veterans, our New Beginning Sangha for addiction, right? People struggling with some form of addiction, perhaps. It's more than welcome to sit with us, and our Rainbow Sangha for LGBTQT plus members, more than welcome to sit with us. And our teen Sanghas, right? For our outstanding teenagers who are trying to navigate the 21st century in a world of just total bombardment of everything: media, parents, friends, peer pressure, and whatnot. So sitting with us for any of these Sanghas is free also. Everything that we do is always, again, is donation based. So, you're more than welcome to contribute. You don't have to. It's not a requirement to come sit with us. Everyone is welcome at any time. And if you find these talks supportive and positive and uplifting, you are more than welcome to subscribe to our channel. It helps others find us in the event that someone else is looking for help, looking for Dharma strength, Dharma knowledge. And with that, my friends, I wish you all an evening of peace and ease, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.